Do you know what today is? It's Thursday, which means it's preview day. We got Chargers versus the 49ers right here on the Wayne Breezie Show. Let's go.
Breezy this, breezy that. They know I'm gold-blooded. I got the Niners on my back, you know. Breezy this, breezy that. Ain't nobody working like Breezy, and that's a fact. Overmotivated is an understatement. Gold-blooded to the core, got your squad hating. Breezy make it look easy. Breezy on everything like 05, 067 Wheezy. This is not a gang. Yeah, we faithful in every way. And even though we on the East Coast, very loyal to the Bay. Heavy red and gold every day. And if you really a Niner fan, I know you can relate. Applying pressure with this content like Smaller Bear. We not accepting no slander about Trey, so beware. I stay in exclusively Niner hats. And I always tell the truth, this exclusively Niner facts. Breezy this, breezy that. They know I'm gold-blooded. I got the Niners on my back, you know. Yeah, Breezy this.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Breezy. You already know what the Foghorn represents. We touching down right here. It's Thursday. It's a great day. It's preview show day. This is where we're going to preview the game. The Niners, the Chargers, I call it the West Side, man. Straight up coming from the West Side. The AFC West, the NFC West, they about to get together and they about to clash. I got a very, very special guest that's gonna help us do this. And I'm hoping we make this a weekly thing because there's no other person I'd rather preview the game with than the one and only. But hold that. I'm going to put that on pause for right now, guys. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you go ahead and like that channel, like that button, hit that like button, guys. Subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to comment. I love to comment in the comment section. I love to respond to some of the comments. Some of you guys just say, hey, Breezy, I hope you're having a great day. Hey, that makes it go a long way. So I love those comments, and I definitely love to respond to each and everything that comes in there. I might not get to everything, but I definitely try my best to get to your comments. So, guys, make sure you do the first thing. I want you to hit the like button. If you're watching right now, hit the like button. The first thing you put on, hit the like button because you're rocking with your boy in the morning, especially out there on the West Coast. I know it's easy. I know it's early, but I thank you guys. I appreciate it. Also, shout out to our sponsors, our partners over at Residency. You can go to www.residency.com and you can save on your purchase using the promo code SFBreezy. Again, that's www.residency with the 3, second E is a 3.com right there below. You can see it right there. Use that promo code SFBreezy and you will save money on your total purchase. All right. So shout out to them as well. I got to give you guys a round of applause, man, because you've been rocking out with your boy Hard Body. You guys have been here. Good morning to everybody out there. Eddie G, Marcus, Niner Cali Boy. All right, speaking of Niner Cali Boy, perfect time. Hold on, I'm going to remove the mic so you might not hear me talking clearly, but I got to give credit to where credit is due. On one episode, I said, you know what? We were praying, and I was like, I love prayer, and I need a T-shirt that says prayer matters. So give me 1 second because I want to show you guys this T-shirt, prayer matters, and I'm going to tell you guys where you can get one. Because I want you to support, right? I definitely want you to support. All right. So bex.craft.shack on Instagram. All right. This is my man. All right, hold on 1 second. Let me get it up. I want to make sure I do this right. All right, so this is Niner Cali Boy. His wife designed these t-shirts. I'm going to show you the shirt. So go ahead and remove that. And I gotta remove his name as well. But you can see it, guys. Prayer matters. And if you believe that prayer matters, go ahead over on Instagram right there, bex.craft.instagram, and go ahead and get one of these shirts. I'm going to take a couple of pictures so that she can post them up on her Instagram. The quality of the t-shirt is ridiculous. Got the name and her own tag is in the back. The BC S is in the back. It's kind of dope. BCS. I don't know how everything that I do sometimes ties into sports, but if you guys don't watch college football, BCS. Anyway, look, please go ahead and support Niner Cali Boy and his wife right over there on Instagram, all right? And I'll make sure you guys I'll put the link inside of the description of the show as well. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get down to the nitty-gritty of today's episode because we're going to preview the game. We got a little fun thing. We did the thing with 49er Media where he had to guess my offense. Well, today, our special guest is going to have to guess my grades for the defense. So we're definitely going to start the show off with something like that after we bring you the latest in 49ers news. But guys, he needs no introduction because he's the greatest. All right? And when I tell you that this particular person puts in the time, puts in the effort, he has the swag, he is a 49er connoisseur, you name it, he's on it. He's a historian, he's a football coach, he's a playmaker, he's a host, he runs podcasts, he helps brand people, and overall, he's a great mother sucker. All right. I just want to put that out there. True friend to the end. We on our Chucky shit. Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only, the great Mr. John Chapman.
What is up, man? I love that introduction. That was like Rocky 4-esque. I'm like ready to go, man, with all the Apollo. Like, let's do this, man. Appreciate it, Wade. Glad to be here. And I got to give a shout out to Miss Debbie. I saw that it's her birthday in the chat.
It is.
The best people that I have ever had the wonderful opportunity in meeting. She is incredible. Just brings joy to so many people. So happy birthday, Debbie.
All right. So I told Miss Debbie I couldn't do it last night because the voice was kind of on drugs. So I'm going to do it tonight. Well, I mean, like, I had took some Sudafed. I didn't know how strong Sudafed is. Now I know why Sudafed has to be sold behind the pharmacy, bro. I didn't know why. Now I know. It's a little deadly. But we have two birthdays over here at the Nitty Gritty family, bro. So today is Fair's birthday as well.
Oh, heck yeah.
All right. So I don't know if Fair's watching right now, but if not, we're going to sing happy birthday to him really quickly. I'll go ahead and bust it out. My voice still hurts a little bit, but I could probably get a me. Happy birthday to you too. Happy birthday to you too. Happy birthday, Miss Debbie. And fear the God. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, y'all.
That is awesome. My best birthday gift I can give to either one of them was not trying to sing with you and ruining that. That was incredible.
Yo, I was trying not to crack, bro. I was like, dear God, I've been praying, don't let my voice go. My voice has been struggling for the past week, man. I don't think my voice has been right since the Atlanta game. I'm just going to keep it a buck. I'm still mad about that game. But John, it's good to have you here. Johnny Dell, we see you out there, man. Appreciate you, brother. Can't wait to break down some film with him. Did you get a chance to watch film with Johnny this week on the Chargers?
He's the best there is, man. Every single time he puts stuff out there, like his approach, Johnny, just the person. I know that he's recovering and stuff. He's going through some stuff right now, so I hope he gets better soon. But, man, that dude, 49ers are spoiled. That's all I got to say. They are spoiled.
They are spoiled. They are very spoiled. There's so many great content creators out here. And John, what I'm doing for the next couple of weeks is I'm going to host content creators. Like I want them to come on the show other than Thursday. Thursday's your day. But I'm going to have them come on here and I want them to promote their brand. I want them to show, what it is that they do for the 49ers and why they love to do it. Everybody's just as passionate. I love everybody's passion, you get a different dosage of it from each individual because of their own individualism and their uniqueness. But the cool thing is the one thing that we all have in common is we love this franchise. We truly do. All right, John, I want to start the show off with some latest in 49ers news because I want to get your takes on it. Let's talk about right here. The practice window has been opened. Now, we already knew it was open for 3 other players, but we added a 4th player, and his name is Jordan Willis. That is the defensive end. That's the guy that blocked the punt for Talanoa Hufunga to pick up the punt, to pick up the ball and get the touchdown so that we can beat the Green Bay Packers. Overall, man, what are your thoughts on this? And do you think with 3 roster spots available, he makes the 4th Do you think the 49ers are going to try to activate him this week?
I do, because of the day that they announced it, right? So they had their Monday practice, and that's when Samson, he had a quad / Achilles issue, is what they labeled it as, which is not good. Okay, that's bad. So the fact that he wasn't activated the day before tells you this is a reactive thing, that he was ready to go, but they didn't have the space on the roster for him. When Samson got injured, they activated him immediately the next day. So this is 100% a reactionary roster move, to make sure that if Samson is out, which part of me says I don't think he's going to play with those two issues, now you have that depth there. So yes, I do believe that he will be activated.
And you know what? I agree with you. Um, I, I I don't know what his injury was. I don't even remember what his injury was. Sometimes I feel like the 49ers, they got players that they can just stash. I think Jason Verrett was one of them. I think
Mhm.
Jordan Willis was another one. Because they didn't need them right away, right? So they were like, "Hey, let's put them on this thing. We can reserve some veterans. We could put them here for a couple 4 weeks or whatever, and we could bring them off, reevaluate them, boom, and we can get them acclimated back." This is good. This is good for the 49ers because, like you said, Samson Ebukam, who has the quad injury, and you talked about his Achilles. He's been suffering from that Achilles injury, I think, ever since the Atlanta game, if I'm not mistaken. It's been a minute. Like he's
It
been
has been.
struggling. Yeah. So you can see him out, Achilles and the quad. Eric Armstead's still going to be out with the foot, the hairline fracture. You heard Kyle Shanahan speak about it yesterday. I think Eric Armstead comes back, but give us a John Chapman date, return date for Eric Armstead, because it's clearly not going to be this week.
It's next week. It's for the divisional games. It's for the Cardinals in Mexico City. You got the extra day because it's a Monday night game. So they open up again. He's not on IR, so you don't have to put anything out there. There's no return or whatever. You get a limited practice Wednesday. You get a limited practice Thursday, and then we'll see whenever he gets out there. I think that's kind of be the play there. I think next week's the time.
And we got a couple of questions. We'll start the show off really early. Now, we heard Kyle Shanahan put an X-nay on this whole situation, but Trey Lance is off the boot. He's out of the boot, right? And he's walking, and he looks like he's recovering pretty well. And pretty soon he'll probably start working out. So Leslie says, so question, do you think Trey comes back to play a little this year?
I think that this depends on a few things. With the new roster rules that the NFL put down, you can only bring back 8 players from injured reserve. Okay. That's it throughout the year. So I think it's going to depend largely on that. If we get into late December and we still have an extra IR return spot, then I think they activate the practice window and just allow him to start practicing as a just in case. I don't think they're going to bring him back to compete for the starting job. I don't think you do that. I don't think that's fair to him or Jimmy, but as an extra insurance policy, I think that it could be a possibility if the Niners have that 8th spot just readily available if they don't use it, which with the injuries we've had, it doesn't seem like a luxury they're going to be able to afford, but you can hope so. So I would say probably 25% chance that he gets that opportunity. And even if he does get back and they exercise the window, doesn't mean he's going to play.
Correct. But that's a big chance. Like that
Yeah.
that 25% is a lot. I mean, I know Kyle put the chains down, said no, it's done for the season. Let's say
Well, he went back against that the next week.
He did?
He went back against that the next week and literally said, like, well, we'd have to see what happens if he is ready and all those things. So
Well, there you go.
a small chance.
So there's a possibility that he can return, right? Cowboy says there was a doctor on Croc show yesterday, says most likely in January. The question is, would you let him play though? Like
that's the issue, is because he might be healthy, but he's not football shape ready.
Correct.
He hasn't been running. He hasn't been doing squats. He hasn't been doing agility and all those things. So what is Trey Lance's biggest asset? His mobility, probably, his size, which would negate that. However, would you prefer a perhaps non-football shaped Trey Lance over Brock Purdy? Because that's the question. It's not a Trey Lance versus Jimmy G thing, right?
Absolutely.
I agree.
And here's what Johnny says. Look, we've used 6 returns already. And I feel like there's two more, right? Trey Lance and Javon Kinlaw. I think those are the two returns we would want to see. Who else on the IR?
There's not one.
There's not one. So
That's it.
you got to look at what Kyle Shanahan is really good at manipulating the system.
And this is why Eric Armstead never went on IR.
This is why he never
because
went
he doesn't
on
count.
IR. Listen, that's crazy, right? So we used 6. We got 2 left. And guess who those 2 guys are?
There you go. So you got to hope no more injuries take place, which there will be injuries, but you would have to carry them similar to Eric Armstead, where, hey, you're going to miss 4 games, Trent Williams. You're going to miss these games, but you're just sitting on our roster.
Yeah. There it is. So, look.
And Kinlaw's maybe. They might not exercise Kinlaw, but I think that they will. I hope that they will, but there is a chance.
So you want them to exercise the 5th-year option?
I'm sorry. I'm talking about bringing him back from IR. That's not a sold thing yet either for Kinlaw. And yes, I do. If he could come back and play at all, then yes, I want to exercise that 5th-year option. I do.
Interesting on the Kinlaw. I think we should do a side show about what the 49ers should do about Javon Kinlaw. And then see if we touch and agree. And if we disagree, it's all good. It's all love. But the good news is, I'm with you. I think Eric Armstead, just like I thought and I said that this would be the week that Jason Verrett plays, and all of a sudden, miraculously, he looks really good. Like miraculously, he looks good in practice. How is that possible, John V? How is he miraculously looks good in practice, but then a couple of weeks ago, oh yeah, he's not ready yet. He's still. Come on, John.
I think it's all about the response to a full day's work. So, like, for example, yesterday was a limited practice for him. It wasn't even a full practice.
It was.
And so what they're doing is just layering his response to full workloads. That's the issue. I don't think the issue has ever been his quality of play or quality of practice. The issue has been stacking healthy days so that you have him for December, not early November. You know what I mean? You have him for January, not right now. We would be fine if Verrett didn't play this week. We'd be fine. Now, if you have one more corner injury, that's when you start to get into dire straits. And so that's what you're kind of protecting from. But yeah, there's no doubt when Verrett plays, and with this being his old team, he's fighting for it, man. He's fighting to get out there.
Chances Verrett plays on Sunday.
72%.
Wrong question. Wrong question. Chances Verrett starts on Sunday.
Much lower. I'm going to say
sugar, honey, iced coffee. It's not even.
I'm going to say much lower. 30%.
Really? I'm different.
Yeah. I'm different. You are different in so many ways, and I'm very thankful for that. But here's my thing. Again, this is just what I would do. I would put him out there for a few series and see how he responds.
Just I wouldn't put him in the Pittsburgh game.
And again, if that's starting, hey man, you got the first 2 drives of the game. Go get it. I'm cool with that. Okay. I do not want him playing the entire game.
Okay.
Not yet.
All right. I don't know. I'm one of those crazy guys that just feels like Jason Verrett's been healthy like since the beginning of the season, bro. And
he said he was ready to go on the initial 53.
Yeah. You ever heard of a log jam? I just felt like the 49ers had a log jam at that spot. And then you were like, well, why not activate him sooner, or whatever. Well, he was on the what was it called? The pup list, right? So you couldn't, right? And then the fact when he got declared to be off that pup list and they opened up the practice when
Mosley got hurt.
Right. Mosley goes down, right? And it's not that he wasn't ready to play. I think that they kind of feared of putting him back on that turf. We had those turf games. And people don't remember, like we were in turf in Atlanta. We were in turf. The team we played before that, it was just turf time. And so it was like, we'll wait. And I have this date circled, right? It's the Los Angeles Chargers, former San Diego Chargers. That's who drafted him, right? This is the date. This is the date. This is the time. This is the, just like Mooney Ward, unhealthy. But what date did he have circled on his calendar?
Yep.
The Kansas City game. He was so unhealthy, but he wanted to play, because that was the team that didn't want to sign him. And unfortunately, that was probably his worst game all season. Not because Patrick Mahomes was just Patrick Mahomes, but he literally just got beat on plays that he normally doesn't get beat on. So Jason Verrett, I like that you said you give him a couple of series, you see how he responds. But if he responds well, if that's the test, if that's the John Lamar Chapman test, I don't even know what's the just pause. If that's the test and he passes that test, you're not going to let him rock out the rest of the game?
You brought up turf. The 49ers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 next games are all on natural grass.
Do you understand where I'm coming from with this situation?
I never thought about it before you said it.
It's Jason Verrett time, bro.
Next 7 games, natural grass.
And it's unfortunate. Like, I think the only game on turf is that Seattle.
I think the Raiders.
The Raiders. I'm sorry, the Raiders.
Now, Seattle Lumen's got grass.
Lumen's got grass. All right. Listen, bro. This is gonna be fun. This is gonna be fun. I like that he's back, but you know who I'm most excited about?
Ooh.
It's 2 players to make the 3. Dude, I've been so excited about these linebackers, bro. Like, we haven't seen it yet. Now, I know this is the first game they're going to be back together in a long time. Okay? But let's talk about Fred Warner, Dre Greenlaw, who was limited, but he practiced, and Azeez Al-Shaair, who had a full practice. Can we please talk about these linebackers, John?
You know, I think it's the best in the NFL. There's no doubt about it. I would argue that Dre Greenlaw, his first 4 games, was perhaps, behind Hufunga and maybe Bosa, best player on the, like, he was like 3rd in the NFL in tackles. Like, he was killing it. And this is perfect timing, because if you look at the strength, not named Justin Herbert, he's incredible, but it's Austin Eckler, this Chargers game offense. It all goes through Eckler, especially with Keenan Allen, who I do not expect to play, especially with Mike Williams out. Their vertical threats are limited, and so everything goes through Eckler. Well, how do you stop Eckler? With the most athletic core in the NFL, all 3 of those guys out there who don't miss tackles. And so I think that is huge. It's perfect timing. And I love the fact that they were able to get through that Rams game with so many guys out and win in convincing manner, have the rest, and now you get them back. So excited, man, to see those. And we only have a limited time because, unfortunately, I don't think Azeez is coming back. They already paid Dre. I don't think they're going to pay 3 linebackers. It just doesn't make sense in today's NFL. So enjoy this next 9 games. Enjoy this, because we are very lucky to see it.
And for Azeez, expect a performance like none other, right?
He's playing for money. He has not made money. He was an undrafted free agent. He was a restricted free agent. He has not made money. Very similar to Jeff Wilson Jr., right? Mm-hmm. He is playing to change his family's future. Dre Greenlaw got the money. Fred Warner got the money. Now it's Azeez's turn. And he deserves every damn penny wherever he goes. I'm so happy for his future, and I want to see him ball out because I just love that man as a human and as a football player. He's incredible.
It was really cool to watch him develop, right? And, I remember when he first got here, I was like, man, I don't know, man. Like, he just doesn't seem like he's going to fit. And then year 2, like the second year, he started to blossom. He got more time. Remember, he was special teamer at first. Then he got more time at the linebacking spot due to Dre Greenlaw getting injured and stuff like that, right? And then year 3, it was just like, okay. All right.
Yeah. I see people correcting me in the chat. I was wrong. Raiders have grass. Seattle has turf, I believe. I think that's right.
All right.
Yeah, 49ers just have 1 game left on turf, to my knowledge. Maybe 2, but I don't think the Raiders have it. I haven't been to that stadium yet.
Just a quick thought on that. Where do you have the 49ers going for the remaining 9 games? I know this is not that episode, but just curious to know. Because some of us have them going 9-0, right?
And you can make that logical conclusion. The issue isn't the opponents. The issue is the 49ers. You mean to tell me you don't think Jimmy's going to have 1 bad game against these 9 teams where he has 2 turnovers and a safety? It's coming. We've seen it twice already in the first 8 games. It's coming. So I have us going 6-3 down the stretch, which would get the 49ers to 10 wins. I think you only got to get to 9 to get the playoffs. The NFC's bad. 10 teams in the NFC out of 16 teams have a losing record right now.
So you're 6-3. I have us going 7-2.
Okay.
I want to say 8-1, right? But the Miami game worries me. I know we're home, but man, it's just a tough trio. It's a tough wide receiving core. That's a speed team. Like, we need to be fully healthy, and we got to find a way to keep up. Because not that I believe so much in Tua, it's just that Tua doesn't have to be. Tua is Jimmy Garoppolo, basically. Like, with
very
that,
similar.
that's a little bit more mobile, right? It's a little bit
And
more,
will take more shots down the
and
field.
we'll
But
take
he doesn't have a stronger arm.
exactly. But he has the weapons to go down the field. They'll adjust. They'll make catches.
But
So
there's
that
going to
game,
be a team that sneaks up. Nobody thought we were going to lose to the Bears. Nobody thought we were going to lose to the Broncos. Nobody thought we were going to lose to the Falcons. The issue isn't the opponents. The issue is the 49ers.
okay.
And sometimes they play down to their opponents. This is an easy schedule. It's a very easy schedule. Should they be favored in every single game left on the schedule? Yes, they should. Will they win all those games? That's a different question. In the NFL, the other teams are good, and there's always upsets and all those things. That's why I have 6-3. But I would not be shocked if they went on a run here. At the same time, I would be shocked if they lost the next 2 weeks, because Chargers are a quality opponent, and we've struggled against Arizona Cardinals. And so, yes, the 49ers should handle business, but Jimmy G's been great. Those games are going to happen. They're going to happen.
I understand that. I just feel like when you're trending upwards, I never ever said this about Jimmy Garoppolo in my life. And this might be the first time you can see a trajectory going up for Jimmy. Usually it's always going down and he's regressing. But I feel like he's getting a little bit better.
Yeah.
I
do too.
Because the trajectory is going up, the offense is starting to put up more points. They're starting to look more, together, cohesive, or whatever, for a lack of words. They're starting to look better. And the defense, it really comes down to the defense continuing to play at that high level of defense that DeMeco Ryans is demanding. And on top of that, the only way I feel like you said, is the 49ers, they can't beat themselves. Self-inflicting wounds, dumb penalties, stupid things like turnovers, like things like that is how you will lose games.
I think one of the issues I've always had with Jimmy Garoppolo's kind of decision making, and this is the beauty that is CMC, is that sometimes he'll force a throw where it's just head scratching all the time. But since Christian McCaffrey has arrived, and we've only seen it for 6 quarters, it has forced Kyle Shanahan and Jimmy Garoppolo to not force things. Just check it down. Just check it down. Oh, you got a robber safety, drop it into the box. Oh, you got a zone blitz with a defensive end dropping into the hook curl zone. Guess what? That's fine. Check it down. Hit the flats on the flare route. Just check it down and allow it. It provides insurance really to Jimmy Garoppolo's play, which is what's always been needed. And so it's allowing Jimmy to be this. I feel horrible even starting this sentence, his best self, which I don't really believe in that stuff, but whatever. He is starting. It's showing Jimmy at his ceiling, and I hope that continues.
Yeah, I agree. And it's giving Jimmy more confidence, right? It's like, oh my gosh, I have a check down, which is something he had a lot in New England. Like Tom Brady, like as great as he was, like a lot of it was from check downs.
Check downs, throw the ball away. That's what has prolonged Brady's career.
John,
check down, throw the ball away. It doesn't matter. He'll put the ball in the turf 5 times a game. He has for a decade straight, because he's not going to take the hit. He's not going to turn the ball over. That has been absent from Jimmy Garoppolo's career with the 49ers. He never throws the ball away, ever. Yeah. But now he's checking down. And so
maybe now you might see throwing the ball away now.
I wish.
That's the other level. That's like that one layer that needs to be added.
I can show you 2 safeties that would say otherwise, but I'm hoping that will come. That will come. I'm hoping. Oh man, I got so many gray hairs on those 2 plays. Man, we were sitting by each other in freaking Denver watching the game, and I think we said like 20 cuss words consecutively between us. Oh my gosh, man, that play. That's
I felt
okay.
bad for the kids in front of us, bro.
Oh,
they had no idea. And here's the funny part about that game, right? The whole game, the stadium was quiet. The whole game, they were
booing.
They were booing. They were ready to throw Russell Wilson in the trash can dumpster, right? The whole game.
That's right.
So Jimmy got a safety.
Yeah, that changed it all. And then the sad thing is, the safety was the best part of the play, because he also threw a pick 6.
Thank God he got the safety, right?
He's trending upwards. It's been a while. That was week 3. We're in week 10. We're past this. Sometimes we have to look back to know where we are now. Yes, he's had a safety since then, but that's okay. Things are trending up. I'm okay. I'm better now. My wife, therapy is going well. It's going well.
Amen. So understood. Trust me. Understood. All right, John, we're gonna play a little game. You're gonna have to guess my defensive grades for the 11 people that I have on here. So I'm gonna give you the name. You can give me what your grade is going to be as well, and then we're gonna preview the game. All right.
I did not do grades like this, so let's have fun with it, man.
Let's do it. All right. So the first person on my list. Now you will get if you get the answer right, you'll get this. If you get the answer wrong, you'll get that.
I'm going to get a lot of those.
All right. Listen, I can't remember the number, but Anshul 49er Media failed, but he got 5 right, maybe 5 out of the 11, I believe. So let's see if you can get more than 5 out of the 11.
Can I ask one pre-qualifying question? Did injuries take part in your grades?
I tried to go with the players. I went with the players that were like currently starting now, not the ones that we got back.
Okay,
so
cool.
There's no Greenlaw. There's no Aziz Al-Shaair. There's no Jason Verrett. All right, so these are the players that pretty much started the last game. All right. All right, here we go. Nick Bosa.
A. He's A+. It should have been A+. It should have been A+.
And you knew that. You knew it.
Did.
Yo, dude, even from the game, he came back after him being injured. I know he didn't dominate in that game, but he's still a force to be reckoned with, right?
Defensive player of the year. At least him, Parsons, Myles Garrett. I think those 3, he's up there. A+. I apologize to the Bosa family who I love. A+. A+.
Kylie comes in here talking smack already.
Yeah. It's hard, man. It's hard.
All right, Kevin Givens.
B. You gave him a B+. You gave him a B+.
I actually gave him a C+.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm not getting Kevin Givens is okay. I'm not getting the run stopping dynamic from him. And I'm also he's just not it. But he's a depth piece, right? He would be perfect to come in and complement a better starter, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think that's the role that the 49ers had for him. But I will say this, he has had 4 great games, and he has had 4 bad games. And that's who he is. He's a matchup-dependent player that is a slasher, not an anchor. You look against Denver, the Rams, both times, in Kansas City, he was great. But outside of those games, he was terrible. Oh, happy birthday. Fairly God showed up. What's up, brother? Love that dude, man. He's so cool. It was so cool hanging out with him in Atlanta.
Cool, calm, and collected. That's what I call him. So why did you give him a B+ though? Because I'm curious.
I said B.
Sorry,
B.
My bad. Why did you give him a B?
Because he showed out and was the best defensive lineman for 2 of those games. And so he's being asked to do more than he should. He should not be a starter. I don't think that he should be. So, yeah, after, just going through this, because I'm going instant reaction, B- C+. I think that's kind of where he should wind up because he's got some very positive games.
Okay, that's fair. That's totally fair. All right, next up on my list, Hassan Ridgeway.
B-.
Yeah!
All right, we got one. We got one.
Oh,
we working.
You go. All right. So listen, man, tell everybody why you gave him a B-.
His job's to anchor. He's anchored pretty well. Not very well, not consistently well. He did struggle with duo against the Chiefs, man. Creed Humphrey, that dude's a beast. And whoever he goes against, he's just messing with. So, but I think he's done his job. Again, he was supposed to be the number 4 or 5 guy in the rotation. Now he's number 2.
Really?
You're asking him to, yeah. I mean, I think Maurice Hurst, I think Givens,
I forgot about Kinlaw,
Hurst. All those guys were ahead of him. Now he's starting. So he's elevated his play. Great free agent signing. Got about a super cheap deal. I hope 4 defensive tackles this year are on expiring contracts. This is the one I want to bring back more than almost anybody else. I really want him long term.
Looks like he fits here. Like you said, the fact that he's become that anchor, he would be even more better if lack of terms, if we had Kinlaw there. And then he could come in and spell every now and then on certain downs, certain plays. he would even be more better. And I wouldn't. He's doing well, and I think he can still continue to trend up with this 49ers, and he's working with Chris Kosaric. All right, let's move on to the right side, or the left side, because I think Bosa's on the right side. I can't remember. Samson Ebukam.
I'm going to go B+. I'm going to go B+.
Okay.
I got the X. I got the X.
I went with the B. I went with the
Went to
B.
B?
Solid B. He's a solid B guy. Like for me, solid B. You don't get much of the production and sacks. So he just can't get. He doesn't get home as much. And I'm not expecting him to get home 8.5 times. That's not what I'm saying. But I do. I thought by now he should have about 4.5 sacks. I think he's currently at 3.5.
The reason why the Niners love him so much is how great he is in the run game.
True.
Now, the craziest stat of all, he had 0 missed tackles the entire season. He didn't miss any games at all through the entire playoff run. 0 missed tackles through, what is that, 20 games
20
we played.
games. And
he's already got 4 this year.
Yeah.
He's already got 4.
But he's also been dinged up a lot.
He has been. And playing through it, which I hate that Kosaric did that to him. Whenever you've got 3 other defensive ends sitting on the sideline with high upside, get them out there. So the fact that he is injured now sucks coming off a bye week, but you've got bodies. Let him get healthy because you will need him on the playoff run.
I agree 100%. I agree. And again, if you guys are just tuning in, yes, he has the quad injury. They didn't mention much about the Achilles, so I'm wondering if
that was a pre-existing injury.
They didn't mention it at all. They more
Right.
mentioned the quad. That was the newest thing up, but that doesn't mean that he's not nagging with that Achilles injury, which didn't sit him down. It did help him miss a couple of practices, but he was out there playing. So
yeah,
we'll see. And it happened to him in one of those turf games. I can't remember which one it was. All right, Oren Burks, weak side linebacker.
A+. A+.
You gave him an A+.
I gave him an A+.
All right, I just need to hear why you gave him an A+. I gave him a C+, but I just want to hear why you gave him an A+.
In the times that he came in, given Pro Football Focus, he's only played 103 defensive snaps. He's the second highest rated player on the team behind only Nick Bosa. His game last week against the Rams, unbelievable. He probably made 6 or 7 just freak plays by himself. Special teams has been good, not great, but for what he's asked to do, again, I thought he stepped in. The difference between the Chiefs game with DFF and the Rams game, the second time we played him with Oren Burks, I was freaking lights out on this guy and so excited about the future. And I think, again, Aziz, back to the Aziz conversation, Oren Burks, who's locked up long-term, has proven he is the number 3 linebacker. They gave DFF the shot first. He totally wet the bed. Oren Burks is going to be this guy long-term. Your 3 starting linebackers next year are going to be Warner, Greenlaw, and Burks.
I like it. And I'm hoping McCreary Ball can work his way up the depth chart.
And Curtis Robinson, who are basically Aziz 2 and 3.0.
You never lied, bro. I gave him a C+ because of as good as he was in the run game. I didn't like him in the past. I mean, he gave up the 1 touchdown. I don't know if it was a brain fart or
that safety play on that Tyshawn Gibson, man, that was really bad.
So that was on really Gibson and not Burks.
We were in a cover 3, and Gibson was the middle of the field safety, and he just stayed in the middle of the field guarding grass. And so it was basically a post route, a flattened post route coming across. Safety never broke on it, and Oren Burks on Cooper Kupp 30 yards downfield is just stupid. The safety play should have drove on that, but it counted against Burks because the safety play was 20 yards out of position.
Got you. Look, I'm not saying C+ because I need to see more, and so I guarantee you he has room to improve. You got him at the ceiling. You got him at the A+.
And again, a lot of it has to do with what the expectations are for a player. This was the number 5 linebacker coming into the season. And so, what's up, Gina? I love it. So, yeah, that's why I got it. Maybe a little too much, but again, he's like that kid that you didn't expect a lot from. And, man, he showed out and had probably the best game of his career against the Rams. And I love that he stepped up. That was a major position of weakness, and dude balled out.
Yes, it was. All right. Like I said, I need to see more, right? If he had an A+ game, that's cool. But overall, special teams got to factor that in as well. But as a weak side linebacker, John gave him an A+. I gave him a C. Fred Warner,
I'm going A. I'm going solid A. What'd you give him?
A-.
A-? Yeah, I think that's fair. I think both those are fair.
Damn.
Now, Warner has been incredible.
Amazing.
And his play is doing this. It's
It is.
ascending. But we saw the same thing last year where early on he has a couple maybe not so great games because he's trying to do too much. He's just trying to do way too much. And if you go to that Chiefs game in the second half, whenever Greenlaw went out, Fred, you could see it in his play, trying to do too much. And a big reason why some of those huge home runs happened against our defense was Fred not trusting his teammates, going outside of his coverage zone and trying to help his other players out, especially with Travis Kelce. It just got burned for it. But when Fred is surrounded with better players, he's the best in the game. He's the best coverage linebacker. He's incredible. His blitzing has been up. If you look at it, he's got 8 pressures on the year, which is incredible. So it's an A because that's an all-pro. That's my number 1 linebacker in the NFL. So I gave him an A. He's played great, but from the best linebacker in the NFL, I want more consistency.
And I went A- mainly because it's not that he's on a decline or anything. It's just the fact that he tries to overcompensate. And sometimes he just, in order to be a great leader, you don't have to do everything, right? You got to find time to trust those that are surrounding you, right? So what's the purpose of me having a job? You're picking me to do a job, but you don't trust me to do it. He's kind of micromanaging. And when he micromanages, his play declines.
D'Amico said exactly that.
Really?
D'Amico said exactly that, where he literally said, guys are out there trying to play hero ball, and we can't do that. You got to do your job. You do your job to the best of your ability. This defense works, and it does. But we saw that a couple times, and it cost them. It cost them big.
DFF.
Yeah, he's got 2 in his name, and it's his grade 2. I'm going with an F.
You got an F.
And I like DFF. And I think special teams wise, he should be there. But 28 players have played for the 49ers on defense this year. He has the lowest grade with a 41.4 grade.
I wanted to give him a higher grade because I felt like when he came in for one game, he was decent. And I thought it would trend up. But I remember the beginning of the year, who was the linebacker I said wouldn't make the squad?
Yeah, you did.
It was him. And he made it. And the reason why I didn't want to make the squad was because of that. I rather would have seen McCrary Ball out there, Curtis Robinson, who is active now. Like I just rather seen something different as the strong side linebacker. But
now, one thing I do want to say in regards to DFF is he was awful. Probably one of the worst linebacker games I've ever seen in my life against the Chiefs whenever he came in. The special teams game against the Rams, he came out first play, laid a dude out, and responded and played very well on special teams. So I love that makeup because it's the NFL. People are going to have bad games. He got put in a bad spot, got exploited. How do you respond when bad things happen? He responded great. Even though it was on the special teams, small, little, whatever, it doesn't matter. What he was given, he did well with. So I do want to leave that out there.
All right. Next up, Talanoa Hufanga.
A+.
Really? Damn.
Yeah. Yeah. You didn't give him an A+?
I gave him an A-.
Oh, dude, A+. Now, yeah, the missed tackles, a little bit of concern, the bad angles on some of those plays. But I think you look at the 49ers team, had 9 interceptions on the entire year last year. He's got 3. He's got sacks. He's got tackle for losses. He's got batted balls.
Yeah, but
A+.
He has that. He has that, bro, when the team is intact. When the team is not intact, guess what he does? He starts to think too much. He plays like Tarvarius Moore. And then he starts taking bad angles. And then he starts missing all these tackles. And that's why I don't give him the A+, because he still has work to do. He has to work on being a better safety overall. Not just a run stuffer, not just a coverage safety, just the word safety. And I feel like with Jimmy Ward being back, they need to put Jimmy Ward back there at safety.
Facts. Facts.
Because that is what's going to help this kid develop as a safety. There's no other safety I want helping develop this safety than Jimmy Ward. Tashawn Gibson isn't going to help him develop. They might play well together, right? But he's not going to help him develop. Listen, our DB's coach says that there's no free safety or strong safety on this team. You have to play safety, right? That's the position. And Talanoa Hufunga may be top 3 defensive player on this team. You got Bosa, Fred.
Oh, no, he is. He's top 3. He's top 3.
Top 3, right? Because I feel like Mooney's up there too. But
yeah,
listen, the angles got me bad because now and then, but then you got to factor in the little bit of injuries, right? He's been injured because he's pretty dinged up. But I gave him an A- because I feel like those things that I'm talking about, he can easily fix. So some people are giving him a B+, and I could see that. But hey, man, one more point, he has an A-, right? So
I just don't see. I don't see that. I disagree. That's okay because if I love Jimmy Ward, I love Jaquiski Tartt. They're incredible. When was the last time we had a playmaking safety?
Okay.
If you put the top 10 plays of the 49ers defense out there, this dude's in 6 of them.
Okay.
Like that's how good he's been. And if you look at that Chiefs game where we got blown out, he was the reason why it was close in the first half with that interception
100%.
play, which was incredible. You
100%.
look at the pick 6 against the Rams, that's the number 1 play of the whole year.
He is the playmaker on defense. And could you imagine if they freaking played Samuel Womack? He's another playmaker. He might suck at the position, but man, he's always near the ball. He can make a play, even though he's not on this list. We got to speed this up because I got to get you out of here. Tashawn Gibson.
B+.
Really?
B+? Because his first games were so great. I would have said A+, but his last 3 games were not good.
I went with B-.
Yeah, I'd say B+, because he's a guy off the street. Again, this is a guy you picked up off the street right before the season started.
Knew off the street, though.
What'd you say?
A guy that Kyle Shanahan knew off the street.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. And yeah, last 3 games have not been great. There's no doubt about it. I want the change to take place as well. But yeah, he's ranked 10th out of 28. Yeah, I mean, he hasn't really been bad anywhere. No missed tackles. Like he's just been solid. Look, if you don't like the way Hufunga's playing, you have to love Tashawn Gibson because he's not a playmaker. He's just always sitting over the top.
He's the regular safety. He's a regular 49er safety.
You have to love one of these 2 players because they're complete opposite. You want a playmaker, or do you just want somebody that sits over the top, doesn't get involved in tackles, but is always watching the pile right in front of them and just kind of sits over the top? So if that's what you want, you got to love this guy. But
wait a minute. Didn't he tip that pass so that Hufunga can get the interception?
He did. He's got 3 interceptions.
He's in there.
He should have had 3 interceptions. He didn't get any of them. The only interception he had was off of a Hufunga tip. But yeah, like I like Tashawn. I gave him a higher grade than you.
You did.
I'm just saying it's different, right? What do you want from a safety? I want a playmaker.
You're right, bro. You definitely gave him a higher grade. Listen, if he didn't have these bad the last couple of games weren't this bad, he was in an A. He was an A for me.
Yeah, he was.
He was an A. At one point, John, Hufunga and Gibson were the top safeties in the league.
Yeah.
They were in the top 5. It's crazy, bro.
And then Mosley went down.
So now you see where I'm going with this, and that's why I think Hufunga's play declined slightly. So with Jason Verrett being back, and if he can at least give you Mosley play, Jason Verrett was better than Mosley. Like he was probably better than Mooney, in my opinion. Like, but if he can at least give you the Mosley play, we're good.
Yeah. Shout out to Kenneth, man. I love that dude.
That's my guy.
He gave a B-. Kenneth's a great dude.
Yeah, good. All right, here we go. We almost done. Mooney Ward.
I'm gonna say A. I'll say
All
A.
right, we got 3 right.
There we go. I'll say A. It would have been A+ except for that Kansas City game. Just got picked on. 6 targets, 6 catches. They were just going at him. Outside of that, he's been he should have had an A+. Should have had an A+.
Should have had an A+. Really good. Really good. probably one of the best acquisitions in free agency for the 49ers. They didn't go after the flashy guy, and I'm glad that they didn't go after JC Jackson. That's who I wanted, because I'm not saying he would have came here and got hurt, but he probably would have came here and got hurt. I mean, that's what happens. The 49ers lead league in injury, so it would have sucked to pay him all that money. I like the fact that they went with this guy. It was a guy that they got specifically to do one thing, that's to play press man, and he should have a really good game this upcoming week. Diamador Lenore, we're gonna finish it with Diamador Lenore.
B+.
Damn, I went B-, man. Oh no, that's the wrong answer.
I'll take it. No, you can't undo the soundboard.
Okay, I can't undo the soundboard. I can't undo the sound.
I'm in by default. Right. I think he's played great. The fact that he took Samuel Womack's job, and I think has shown why.
Straight up took it too.
Yeah, he's played really, really well. And so I like Diamador Lenore. I love this young cornerback group. Even Ambry Thomas, who has been really, really bad in the time that he's been in. We've seen the ceiling. It's just, it takes him a long time to get ready. So you bring back Verrett. I'm very, very happy with the cornerback room on this. And so
I feel like a B- is good from my perspective, because he still has a lot of room to grow.
I want him back at nickel.
It's time to make the switch.
Yeah.
I'm okay with benching to Sean Gibson. Maybe make him the big nickel.
I would too.
Yeah. Why not? Why not make him the big nickel? Switch.
Well, now you got Aziz though.
Do we play with Aziz in there, or do we take Greenlaw out there?
So if we're in our base 4-3, then Aziz is out there. But what we did last week was we just kept Jimmy Ward out there for everything. And so there were a couple injuries where Mooney Ward went out, and then we switched it up a little bit. But yeah, I don't know what the 49ers are going to do. If Aziz is available, he's going to be out there in your base 4-3. Who's your nickel? I would prefer Diamador Lenore or Womack over Tayshaun Gibson. But that's just me.
But I was just thinking, if we went with like that big nickel package, right? Like if we go with the you bring in the DB, you would go with him to have out there. All right, let's go with this. John, I think you only got 3 right. You did.
I think I got 3 right. I think I give myself a C-.
Nah, never that. You did your grades the way you did your grades. You don't think like Breezie. That's all good. Grade like Breezie, man.
We all have room for improvement. You got it. Yeah, I'm trying. I'm learning.
Yeah,
I'll get it, coach. I'll get it, coach.
Now, let's preview this game, man. We got the 49ers hosting the Los Angeles Chargers. I want to get a couple of your key matchups. Let's talk a little bit about, like, you got the number 1 running defense, rush defense in the NFL, going up against a mother freaking playmaker in Austin Eckler. You talked a little bit about it earlier. How can this 49ers defense neutralize the Eckler?
I think it's going to be very similar to the Cooper Kupp effect, the 2 games we played them, where Eckler's going to get his, okay? And I'm okay with that. I think the only way that the Chargers can win this game is by stretching the field downfield, throwing the ball deep, which they don't have the wide receivers to do that. So I think it's going to be very similar to what the 49ers defense has looked like against the Rams, where you try to keep everything in front of you, let them try to nickel and dime. And if they have one negative play, a sack or a penalty or whatever, that drive's done. You can't let Herbert beat you down the field. That's the only way the Chargers will win this game. Eckler's going to get his. He's too damn good. And I'm so excited to see Eckler versus CMC. That's going to be fun. 2 of the best backs that can kind of do it all. But down the field passing attack, if the Chargers can't do that, they're not going to have a chance in this game.
Yeah, I agree with you, John. I just don't see how they're going. If they don't have the weapons.
No, Herbert's amazing. Herbert can, but look, he's throwing 2 guys like you and me out there, man.
Yeah, I think we're better than
I did run a 4.9 in high school, so I will put that on my resume.
All right, cool. I think I'm going for 4.6.
Oh, I was slow as hell, man.
I was right, but no, seriously, John, I don't think they have the weapons. It's gonna be a nickel and dime game for them as well. So the defense just can't get beat deep. They can't get caught falling asleep out there, like blowing the coverage like they did in the Chicago game with Dre Greenlaw and Talanoa Hufunga on the same side, trying to sack Justin Herbert, because Justin Herbert will take off and run, and they also got to contain him or spy him. Like, they got to do something to where he doesn't become the playmaker. We do not want to get Marcus Mariota by Justin Herbert in this game.
No.
I'm not getting beat by another motherfucking Oregon quarterback. Not on my watch.
I like that. I never made that connection, but I think you're exactly right. But I mean, it's Josh Palmer. It's DeAndre Carter.
Yeah.
Like, these are Michael Bandy. Like, are you kidding me?
And don't let this be the game where we have to know their names. You know what I'm saying? Now, the one playmaker other than Austin Eckler, watch out for Gerald Everett,
who's played against the 49ers a lot. You know, he was with the Rams.
Seattle Rams. Yeah.
So that's one. And we've seen tight ends have some success. Tyler Higbee in the very first game against the Rams. Like, you got to show up on that one. And so that's what's such a big deal with getting Greenlaw back and Azeez back, is that will free up Fred Warner into coverage situations on the tight end. And that's huge. That's huge, because Warner and Azeez against Eckler, you're fine with. You don't that's not a problem. You put Warner on the tight end, not a problem.
I agree. Listen, it looks like we have a Chargers fan watching the show. Shout out to Pacific Beast. He says, "Take it easy on us, y'all. We hurt." Listen, this ain't no game we got circled on this calendar saying it's a dub. I don't got a dub like just like that. We got to come out here and still play football.
They've won 4 out of the last 5. Yeah, like,
I don't know how. Hurt, but they winning. Y'all still winning. Y'all 5-3. We're 4-4. So
I'll say this, like, probably 2 of the most injured teams in the NFL. The difference was we're getting so many guys back. They are not. They're getting Corey Lindsey back, which is huge. Their center. That was gigantic. But it's not like the defensive tackles on our team are like a huge advantage against really anybody. Right. So 49ers are favored by a touchdown at home.
7 points.
Rightfully so.
Right.
But we've said that before this year and lost. So
now their run defense is probably ranked bottom of the barrel.
Dead last. It's one of the worst in the history of the NFL.
I'm looking at it right now. If you guys want to know what the Chargers, oh my gosh. So they've given up a total of 1,164 yards. They're giving up 145 yards a game.
Now, I'll say this. They gave up 97 yards in the first quarter rushing against the Falcons. But the thing that they're not getting credit for, I keep watching this film, the adjustments that they make in game are legit. You cannot like Staley as a head coach all you want. His in-game adjustments on defense, pretty damn good. Now, the 49ers always start hot. I'm betting huge this week on 49ers scoring first, on all the overs. I'm starting Elijah Mitchell and CMC in my fantasy league, if that tells you anything. They are going to run the ball effectively, the 49ers. I better believe that.
They better. And that I will say, they better. That needs to be the game plan. Run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. We've seen Kyle Shanahan do this. Don't know how much he pays attention to this stuff. But we've seen him run the ball when he doesn't have to throw it. And this might be one of those games where Jimmy Garoppolo just can come out there and just be the game manager and
what it should be.
And I
want McCaffrey getting 20 touches and Elijah Mitchell getting 10. Like, that happens. Holy freaking cow. I don't care how they get the touches, but that's what I want.
Here's the funny thing. Deebo Samuel's going to get a rushing touchdown in this game.
Ooh.
That's going to be like one of my hot takes. John, let's talk about a little bit some of your key matchups in this game. Like, give me one must-see pay-per-view event, that we got to pay or use the scrambler and watch the squiggly lines. Give me one key matchup.
We kind of got robbed in the fact that we didn't get our Bosa versus Bosa.
That would be a position battle.
Right. But you still got Mac versus Trent Williams. And you're talking best on best. I'm very excited about that. So Trent Williams against Mac, I think that's just going to be about as fun as you can be. And if you don't like that one, Debo on Asante Samuel Jr. That one's going to be fun to watch too.
So I got Brandon Ayuk on Asante Samuel Jr.
They don't flip corners, so they don't shadow. So what happened is Asante is going to be sitting on one side, and the 49ers get to dictate, very similar to what teams do to us, who gets to go against him. So Asante is going to see all the wide receivers out there. But yeah, that's going to be fun to watch. That's
okay.
That's
So
gonna be fun.
on the right side, depending who lines up on the right side, is who Asante is going to cover.
Correct.
Got you. All right. So let's talk a little bit more about that Trent, because I don't see Khalil Mack lining up on Trent's side.
Yeah, he kind of floats a little bit. And so he does both sides. So we'll see some of it. But I mean, he's 10th as far as edge players ranked this year from Pro Football Focus. Like, he's had some success. Is he the same Mac that we know of in the past? No. Trent Williams is the same Trent Williams that we know of. So, but anytime you get best on best, it's awesome. And I love the fact that you have two of these athletic freaks of nature going against each other with just unbelievable strength and athleticism. It's freaking Ollie versus Frazier, man. Like, it's much watch TV. I'm excited for the film. I'm excited for the broadcast, but man, going through that film is going to be a blast.
I love it. They want to know who's going to be lined up on Mike McGlinchey's side.
Kyle Van Noy has stepped
Noy
in predominantly for Bosa since he's been out.
Yes.
So that's going to be the pass rusher over there.
Yeah, and that was the guy I was going to say. You definitely
and Mac.
You want to keep an eye out on Van Noy, who can squeakily be good. Like, right? He was really good at New England, went to the Miami Dolphins, struggled there. Now he's here. He has a home. All right, let's do a position battle. Give me one position battle. It would have been the Bosas, but unfortunately the Bosas aren't there. So, like, if you could pick a position, who'd win that battle?
Is this us against them, or we're talking same positions on top of each other?
Same positions on top of each other. So, like,
yeah, CMC versus Eckler. Oh, CMC versus Eckler. Running back on running back. Like, you got to stick with that, man. That's just, it's going to be freaking entertaining. You're talking about 40 touches between those two players.
Let's go.
And they're both going to be good. They're both going to be good.
Oh man, wow! Like, that's the Thriller and Manila right there.
I love all the boxing references, man. Oh, we started off with freaking Rocky IV. We got some Ollie Frazier. We got Thriller Manila. That's what's up, man.
Go like a butterfly, sting like a bee.
I love it, man.
Like a bee. Kenneth says Mooney versus Asante Samuel. That could be another position battle to watch. All right.
It should have been Mooney versus J.C. Jackson, and it breaks my heart that dude got hurt because those were the two prized cornerback free agents. Everybody in the Niners, if you remember, they all wanted J.C. Jackson, not Mooney Ward. We got Mooney Ward at a discount, and J.C. Jackson's done for the year, broke his kneecap, and wasn't even good before then. So, man, 49ers, shout out to the front office. Nobody's going to write articles about it, but good gosh, they hit a home run with that signing.
I'm going with the top safeties in the league, Derwin James and Talanoa Hufunga, baby.
Both playmakers. Best playmaking safeties in the NFL. Maybe Duggar I'd put in there too, but yeah.
I'm going with the safeties, man. I think they're going to have a big game. I would give the slight edge to Derwin James just because he has more experience and he's probably overall better player.
Better athlete by a mile.
Better athlete, yeah. But this could be that game where Hufunga comes back and lets everybody know why he's going to be
prime time, man. Prime time.
Now, speaking of prime time, I'm glad you brought that up because the 49ers, didn't they lose their last 3 games on Sunday Night Football?
Yeah, they've been good on Monday Night Football. And so that's been an issue. There's no doubt about it. Now, you got to show up. And this is probably one of my biggest issues, perhaps, with Nick Bosa, because last year he played Defensive Player of the Year caliber. However, when you got these primetime games last year and down the stretch, Bosa didn't have his best games. This is the time. If you want to be a Defensive Player of the Year, you have to show up when people are watching. Everybody's watching this game.
When the lights are
Everybody's watching this game. You got to show up. You got to show up.
He should be used to that playing at the Ohio State. It's a big stage, big lights, prime time. Anyway, look, Bosa, show up. You heard him. You heard John say it. Show up.
I'll say this again, going back to the injuries, one of the best left tackles in all of football is out, on the left side, who's Rashawn Slater, who I loved. So Jamie Sawyer from Georgia, who was a 6th round pick, is stepping in. at left tackle. And then you've got Pipkins on the right tackle spot,
Is
which he's
Pickens
from.
gonna play? Did he get cleared? I thought he was still hurt.
I think, let's see, the injury report says he did not play, but I think that he is expected to be out there. But he didn't practice yesterday, so we'll see. But even that, I mean, he's from Sioux Falls. Not trying to throw shade on Sioux Falls, but like, yeah, they're hurting. They're
I feel
hurting.
like all my credit cards are from Sioux Falls. Like that's the only time.
I don't know exactly what you're talking about. What's up, Perk? I see Perk in the chat.
I'm looking at the address. I'm like, where the hell is Sioux Falls? But anyway, nah, man, this is gonna be a great game, guys. Sunday night football. It's good. The lights are gonna be on. Look, I think the 49ers start out hot, man. They're gonna do what they do. I do think that the Chargers score first. I think they get the first points. John, I got to get a quick score prediction from you if you do that. I don't know if you participate in score predictions. It's okay if you don't. But I'll give you
I'll throw it
mine.
up there. This you go first, and this is before I've done all. I haven't written up my full game write up, but you go ahead. You go
All
ahead.
right. So, look, I really feel like the 49ers are going to dominate on the ground, right? Statistics show that's what they should try to do. They're going to try to figure out a way to do it. I'm more confident with CMC and Elijah Mitchell at running back, unfortunately, than I was with Jeff Wilson Jr. and some of the other guys that we've been having. Couldn't figure out how to stick to a running game consistent, a consistent run game throughout these past few games. And Kyle Shanahan, I don't think he really trusted his running backs. I think the only running back he trusted, bro, he had to trust Jeff Wilson Jr. because he had the most experience out of all those guys. But Elijah Mitchell, he's been trusting him since the day he stepped on this team. He's going to be back. He clearly trusts CMC. This is going to be one of those Minnesota Vikings, I'm going to run down your throat type of football games, unfortunately. And I like it. So my score prediction is going to simply be 38-13. I think they give up only 13 points. You're going to get a touchdown. Okay. And then 2 field goals from the Los Angeles Chargers. And the 49ers after that, they're going to get a fire lit in their ass. They're going to keep going. 38-13.
That's a huge one. Somebody already put my prediction in the chat. Shout out to DJ Malone.
Hey,
27-17. That's where I'm going to be, a 10-point win. I think they're going to control it pretty well. So yeah, everything says the 49ers should win. I don't really care about the Chargers. I care about the 49ers. I care about penalties. I care about, getting out of their own way. 49ers got to win this game, and they should win this game. But they've got to win this game. It's up to them how this goes.
There it is. I mean, some people say we're only going to give up 7 points. That's what's up. Look, the 49ers defense.
I will say this, okay? If you look at what the Chargers have done, they have scored over 20 points. They almost every single game. 2 times they haven't done that. Like, they are a high potent offense. And they've done it against some really good defenses. So they put up points. Justin Herbert's for real.
Oh, he's definitely for real. And he would be even more for real if he had his weapons out there. And it'd be we'd be having a different conversation too, as well. Because now you got to figure out how to stop the deep threat. Mike Williams, who's a big wide receiver that could just catch passes down the field, and then Keenan Allen would be trying to dice him up underneath. Yeah. So they're a little different. You know what I mean? So again, Pacific Beat says ride or die, Bolt fan. But if we don't do nothing, hope that y'all get to this Super Bowl. Hey, man, we appreciate you for even joining the stream, man. And if you're not a subscriber to the channel, please do so. If you got your own channel, let us know. We'll come and check you guys out and have some fun. It would have been really cool to do a crossover show, but unfortunately, our schedules are just all over the place and pretty much stocked up. But thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you. Look, John, I like our chances in this game. Your score prediction looks like it might be spot on. I know I'm probably I
hope you're right.
I hope I am too, because that would give the 49ers not bragging rights, but that would really set the freaking tone for the second half of the season. And I think that's what they come out and do. They set the tone. I felt like they've been playing passive football, passive football. Now it's time to play aggressive football, or another word for passive is conservative. I feel like they've just been keeping it like low. Let's get through these games. Let's try to see how many people we can keep healthy. Now it's all in. You got to go all in. And the only way to go all in is by giving it all you got. And the 49ers, talent-wise, have a lot to give. They need to start showcasing it. Who cares what these teams see on film? Change it up, Kyle. Figure it out. Like, showcase what you got. And I think that's what you're going to do Sunday night. Now, 49ers are 0-3 last Sunday night games. Kyle Shanahan's 2-3 coming off the bye. So there's a couple little things in there we got to kind of pay attention to. But listen, if Kyle Shanahan, John, looks at this game like they're the LA Rams, shouldn't be a problem because they're the LA Chargers.
I like it. They're the same. They're the same, and a lot of the coaching staff's the same. And they've had a lot of success against Staley when he was with the Rams. And this defense is primed for Kyle Shanahan to take advantage of it.
Now, I got to give you a quick shout out because right before the show, you guys know I'm always running late and John is always on time. And so I said, John, I need a poll question. He was like, for the show? It's like, yeah. And just bam, it just downloaded in his head. So, guys, I'm ending the poll right now. If you didn't get a chance to vote, you see me looking over here on this screen. It's because I'm looking at my laptop. So the poll question was, how many points will the 49ers score this Sunday? And John, the results are in. We had 151 votes.
That's impressive.
All right. The results are in. 51% of the faithful said that we would score between 26 to 30 points. 26 to 30 points.
I said 27.
You did. So I'm out of that outlier. I'm in the 30 plus category. 16% finished there. 21 to 25 was 26%. And under 20, only 5%. Some fans still feel like we're going to have scoring issues.
I don't know about that. Definitely the 49ers offense has stalled a lot in the second half. But again, I think CMC has fixed a lot. The fact that you get Elijah Mitchell back, I see a lot of sustained drives. I really, really do. Mike McGlinchey's the only one that could stop this offense. Him and Jimmy G just having one of those games. But I think they're going to be okay. I really do.
All right. Guys, you've heard from the great John Chapman. And guys, you wanted him here, and him and I have declared that Thursdays we're going to preview the games each and every week. All right. So make sure you guys tune in, keep your alert set to on. All right here on the WayneBreezie Show. John, I appreciate you. Let everybody know what you got coming up today because you're working today, man. Your Thursdays are my Tuesdays. Right.
Yeah, so it's a lot. I got to open up the calendar just because it's like, all right, what am I missing here? So I've got a Patreon only show with the 49ers cutback at 10 p.m. or 10 a.m. Pacific time. We got Brian with Legit Football, our NFC West Watch show. I'm a guest on Ted's show at 3 o'clock today, 2:45.
Nice.
So that's what I got today. So we're going hot and heavy, and then meeting up with a friend to watch Thursday Night Football out here in LA at a sports bar. So going to be a good day.
Let's go. John, thank you for joining. Everybody, thanks for tuning in. All right, guys, we're going to sign off, man. We'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow's Veterans Day. And so I do have another special guest that's going to come on and host. But that show is going to be for veterans. Tomorrow, we're going to pay tribute to our veterans, have some fun. I want them to call in. Tomorrow's a call-in show. Everybody, they kind of get to run the show. Like, I just get to sit there and just kind of like listen. So it's really cool. I just want to make sure that we answered all the questions I had started up. Myzel, thank you so much for the shirts. I will be rocking one of them joints tomorrow on the show. And again, guys, I'll put the description of where you can get Prayer Matters, the Prayer Matters shirts inside the description of the show. Stay up, stay faithful, y'all. Always keep it nitty gritty. And most importantly, thank you for watching.